a full on. Oh, we're live.
We are live, and Chris is not here. I'm Andy from Buy Local NJ. We thought maybe we would have like the proper, not a 6-person Brady Bunch window, but 4-person with me and Chris. But Chris is not here. But I'm so excited to be talking to both Zack and Dan of StrixMedia in Morristown. How are you guys doing working at home?
We're doing pretty good, trying to stay, safe, quarantine. We've actually been taking our due diligence and quarantining before they were official. Like, you guys have to bunker down, because we were afraid of getting it. So we've been working remotely sooner rather than later.
Yeah, some of us have been practicing social distancing before that was a thing.
Yeah.
How about you, Dan?
I mean, we just saw it as we want to make sure that our entire team was safe, and that we were, what we do most of the time is able to be done from home. So we just kind of, took everything home. Everyone kind of grabbed their hard drives. It's a little bit weird not being in our office and not seeing everyone every day, and people just stopping by and hanging out. But, I think it's for the best, and, we're able to just kind of focus on some stuff that we weren't able to focus on when we did have a lot of client work.
Now, you guys do video work, you do social media. Like, what percentage of your business is really requires to be in person and doing a video shoot like at a company versus what you can do remotely?
So I would say anything for video related, right? We can go all the way through pre-production, all the way through until before production starts, without being in the same room with somebody if we had to. Right? We like to have that in-person meeting because it always feels better. But as soon as you get to the production side and you want to set up an interview or something with someone, it involves people being in the same room. So we really can't do much video. So we have pivoted a little bit. So some of our services, Dan, I don't know if you want to go over them at all. We started doing more live stream setups. So that's actually a new service we started offering, because some local businesses in town actually needed that service. And because a lot of people, obviously can't be in contact with each other. So they started going more the live stream route. So we helped set up that. We can still do, say, product photos and product videos. So, if someone wants to send us a product, we can definitely photograph it in our studio. So that's not a problem. Real estate projects also are relatively something that would usually require someone else being there, but we can also do that without someone else being in the same room, as long as we're working with the realtors closely. And then we also have social media management, which is also something that we can do remotely through a computer and, not lose any value within those services.
Yeah, and I would say that the majority of our business is video production, but another big chunk of it is social media, web design, graphic design, photography, things like that. So, a lot of our productions have been, postponed, and we're just kind of rolling with the punches, diversifying what our offerings are currently, just to kind of see how we can help other businesses, right? So we started our business because we wanted to help small businesses and brands connect on the internet, right? So I feel like what we do now is more important than ever. And, we're just here for any small business, right? We're offering a 15-minute free consultation over the phone. I really like to call it a brainstorm. I think the word consultation is a little too serious. But basically, if you want to call us, feel free, reach out. We'd love to talk to you for 15, 30. I'll stay on the phone with you for an hour, whatever. Let's talk about what you can do, how we can help you if we can. If not, here's, a small playbook of, what you could be or should be doing during this time. Because a lot of people that we've spoken to are kind of rolling over and taking it. And that's just not the right mentality right now. It's a time to get down your to-do list that you've had, do that thing that you've never been able to do. Let's use podcasts as an example. Everyone wanted to start a podcast, but, they never got to it. Well, now this is the time, maybe, change up your menu or, whatever it may be, use this time as an opportunity to get ahead. So when it is all over, you can come out swinging, right? You want to be ready to interact with your clients again. You want to be able to, bring value to your clients now. And it's just a great opportunity with the internet to be able to do that, right? Not everything has to be a monetary exchange. For a lot of small businesses, I think that just getting out there and interacting with your clients and letting them know that you are here. And, we work with my family's business, and my sister actually is part of our family's business as well. And it's a hair salon. So she cut her husband's hair, which she's not a hairstylist, on Facebook Live for like fun. And like, there's no value there. It's just entertainment value, and there's an opportunity with every business to be in front of your clients. You just need to figure out what works best, for you, and just get out there and don't argue with yourself and just do it.
My wife cut my hair.
Looks good.
Last week, and she's not a hairstylist. I think if I had turned that into a video, it would have been way too long because it required 3 sit downs because she cut it. I thought I was done. I showered. She looked at it. She was like, "That is not good." And then she's like, "Sit down again." She tried fixing it. I showered. I thought it was ready for, like, I was ready to eat dinner. She's like, "Nope. This side is in the back is really bad. You have to sit down again."
That's hilarious.
It's not easy work.
It would have been like watching the movie Titanic. It's like a 3-hour movie and not that exciting. So you guys have been super quick to adapt. Dan, as you said, it's not a time to sit around. I noticed that you guys have different promotions. You have the 15 to 30 minute brainstorming. I saw $150 voucher for a headshot that people can book now for when things start returning back to normal. You guys have done other things too. You have 50 tips to supercharge your content on your website. What's your web address? Is it StrixMedia?
StrixMedia.com. So
Sorry, say that again.
Yeah, it's StrixMedia, StrixMedia media.com.
Perfect. Sometimes I'm not sure because I know some of the social media handles are StrixMedia NJ. Yes, but you guys have a lot of great stuff going on, and definitely you guys have gone remote too. I saw you recording your podcast remotely, so that's still going.
Yep. Yeah. We were using Zoom before. You guys are using StreamYard. We just started switching over to StreamYard as well. We're loving it. So any small businesses that are trying to do a live stream, create value from their home or wherever, StreamYard is a great service. Works really well, and it gives you this cool interface that we're looking at right now.
You guys also have a great community on Facebook, the New Jersey, New York creators community. What are you hearing in there these days? What are the creators doing, and how are they doing?
So I feel like a lot of people are kind of doing the same thing that we are doing, sharpening their skills, educating themselves, and really just getting ready to get back to it. There's always going to be two sides of the story. A lot of people are feeling defeated, and then other people are taking the opportunity to really just double down. And with our group, we just try to bring as much positivity and connectivity to other creators as we can, and encourage people to hop on a Zoom call with us, because we've been just hosting like fun, like little happy hour Zoom calls with our team as well as people in the group, to kind of have like a serious conversation and then have a fun conversation and talk about like what people have been watching on Netflix and how they've been wasting time, because it's like everyday life, right? You don't want to be work. You need that little bit of a balance. So we've just been trying to facilitate conversations around those two things, with our like promos and stuff. Like I said earlier, we're just trying to diversify things that we can offer. Just like how people are selling gift cards for their small businesses, not to toot our own horn, but businesses like ours or anyone else that are similar to ours can't be forgotten either, right? We want to show support to all of the businesses in town, not just, the local restaurants, not just, your coffee shops, things like that. So we've been trying to be able to give our followers, our clients, an opportunity to support us in a time, and then also, flipping it the other way and trying with these, 15-minute consultations, trying to help support them, right? Kind of help them, maybe they just needed a small pep talk and get them fired up to hop on Facebook Live today and do something and connect with their followers.
Another thing too, I've also noticed them doing, especially like just the creators in our group, they're just trying new things. A lot of them are practicing, brushing up on skills, trying new, just like new skills that they haven't had the time to practice. So for example, I'm also, I'm like a video editor, but I don't really know much about the 3D space. So getting into like 3D motion and 3D graphics is something that I've been looking at just to kind of see like what I can do new, and just trying stuff out. I think now is a good experimental time and a great time to practice. And with that being said, I think a lot of small businesses, a lot of the pushback we've gotten in the past was they don't have time to learn social media, or they don't have time to get on social media. And I think now is the best time to do that. If you can't, if you're not focusing on developing or refining or pivoting your services, just focus on being a part of the community within the social media realm. Because I feel anyway, the more that you're in front of your audience, the more you're in front of your following, when this is all over, you're going to be at top of mind, for your service or for your industry when people are looking for that.
That's great. No, great advice. And I know that you guys are reaching out to the community to see how can you help during this time. What kind of things can business owners do as far as creating content from home?
Love this question. Dan,
go ahead.
Grab
what
it.
you want? All right. So there's a lot of things that you can be doing, right? So you can be doing Facebook Lives. You could, if you're too nervous to do a Facebook Live and you don't want to mess it up, you could do a video, right? When you do Facebook Live or video, a couple tips that I would suggest is make sure that they're value driven or that they're entertainment driven, right? So for example, teach someone about your product, teach someone about your services, teach someone about something that's relevant to what you sell or what you do. Interview an employee, interview a client. Interview yourself, right? Have someone interview you if you're a business owner. Everyone wants to be entertained right now, and not everything has to be a hard sale, right? You don't need to go out there and be like, $5 coffees, come buy them, right? That's not going to work in this time. Everyone is really apprehensive with their money. And I believe that just bringing value to people, whether it's entertainment, informational, whatever it may be, is the really where you want to go. And we always believe that video is that way, but it goes to photos, right? Don't be shy on social media. Don't just fold your cards, get on social media, maybe make an infograph, right? Talk about one of the products, talk about how you can use the product. And it doesn't have to be video. Once again, if you're a little bit shy, do it through text. A lot of the other things you could be doing, start a podcast. It's really simple. You can record it on your phone. You can record it on StrixMedia. Do a live stream of some sorts like this, what are other some things? I'm drawing a blank here, Zach.
Another thing you can do too, besides just like interviewing like other people, explaining how your service or product works. So not necessarily a how-to video, but more like what your service or customer journey looks like. I feel like if you can make that more transparent for people, people are more likely to, if they can understand how your process works, they're more likely to go with that process because it's familiar already, and people are always willing to take the path of least resistance. So if you can, make it as least resistant as possible by explaining what you do and how you work with people, it does actually two things. It helps, make your service more transparent so people understand what you do better. It also helps increase the perceived value of what you're offering, because the more detail you put into something and the more time and effort you put into something, the more value you can provide because you're putting that much more effort into it.
And I think we're in a time where it's not about thinking. It really isn't. It's about doing. Just do whatever you're thinking about. Take some, look at other people's social media feeds and what they're doing and the promotions that they're offering and the emails that they're sending out. you don't want to argue with yourself at this point, right? You don't want to like, oh, should I do this? Should I not do this? My lighting's not right. Or, I've never been on video before. It's a time of just doing. And I think that once this is all over, we're going to be in a way better place in the realm of marketing and advertising, because people are going to try things that they might not have tried before, or that they didn't have time to before. And I think that it'll show them that, live streaming is powerful. Right now, we have 7 people watching us. I bet you those 7 people maybe have never heard of me and Zack before and our company, right? And same with when you've been on our podcast, right? Another thing is reach out to other people in your industry to talk to them, be on their podcasts. I could go all day with ideas, but it's just about choosing what you're most comfortable with and then doing it and then being consistent with that. If you're going to do a podcast and you say you're going to release one every Friday, make sure that you do that. Or if you're going to go on a live stream and you had a couple people watching, maybe you didn't say that you're going to do it next week, but try to do it again next week at the same time. Kind of put a little bit of discipline in for yourself.
Yeah, I think it's actually really important to understand too that everybody got hit with this thing. It's not just you, right? So it's everybody got knocked back to this area where we're all on the same plane, competitors, people that work with your business. We're all in this new set of rules where, okay, now you can't be in contact with anybody. Now what do? You can't use your retail space. Now what? It's like more like a challenge than, that's more the mindset I'm going with, is like, I want to consider this more like a challenge. Like, okay, cool. Now we have this new set of rules to follow. What can we do differently? Everyone has the same set. How do we adapt? It's kind of, I don't want to say fun, but it's just like, it's an interesting creative way to say, okay, how do I change or pivot my services to work within this new set of ground rules? Because I think the faster you can master that, the faster you can master any kind of pivot. And I think now is the best time to understand that, like, social media is probably the most valuable tool a business can have right now, because the word of mouth, the walking by the street, every other excuse we've always got from other businesses owners or why they don't have time for social media, why they don't want to invest in social media, has now turned upside down. And now this is really the only way to be in contact with your customers and clients besides an email list. So keep building that email list, but keep, staying in front of your customers is really the number one thing that you can do right now.
Great advice. I think you are correct. All of us are in the same position, no matter where we are on this earth. I talked to friends in Italy, Hawaii. I talked to a guy in the Philippines, and we're all staying at home and have this shared experience, which is really mind-blowing. But I like the silver lining that you guys are talking about. Take the time to be strategic, to try new things, to learn new things. And oftentimes it is in those quiet times where you can be creative. You get a cool idea or a new idea. So definitely take that quiet time that we have right now to do that. Before we part ways, if I can share my screen, I want to, let's see if I can do this correctly.
And one last thing, Andy,
Oh, yeah.
which is funny, right, is that everything that we just talked about isn't just relevant now. It's always been relevant. It's just more relevant.
Yeah.
Which is like funny, like we talk about all these things of what people can do. This is just stuff that you should always be doing, but now you just have a little bit more time to do that.
For sure. I wanted to share this. I don't know if you guys can see it on screen. It's this infographic that you guys created on how to support your favorite business during this time. Maybe you can talk us through this. This is great.
Yeah. So we also did a video on this as well, just to, a way to help out and support small businesses in town. So one really big thing, and this doesn't require any monetary value at all, that takes less than a minute of your time, leave a review, right? If you had a positive experience with any business in town at all, it goes a really long way when you can give back your feedback and leave a review on Yelp, Google, whatever it is. If it was a positive experience, leave a review with some of your favorite business owners or favorite businesses, and tell them about your experience. That goes a really long way.
Unfortunately, right now, Google has shut down reviews.
Oh,
so I'm not sure if anyone's noticed.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if you write a review now and you hit like send, it'll stay and then post at a later date. But right now, Google has turned off reviews for all businesses. Go on, Zack.
Very true. So that still means though you could leave a review on Facebook or Yelp. And besides just doing a review, commenting on their posts, right? If you can go and like their Facebook page, follow them on Instagram. If you see their posts, like it, give it a comment. Comment on their posts is another major thing you can do, because a like is just saying, hey, I acknowledge you, but a comment it goes way further, and it actually, in the end, boost the algorithm in a way that, now that small business is reaching more eyeballs because you commented. So that goes a really long way, and it takes very little time for you. Another big thing you can do is schedule your next appointment with that business. So, if you're for a hair salon, schedule an appointment later in the day so they have business coming through, or later in the month. Do whatever you can to stay local with that business.
Maybe later in this year at this point.
Well, yeah, exactly.
We'll hope and pray that this doesn't last all too much longer. But who knows?
Well, that's great. This is all really great steps that we can all take. How do I stop sharing my screen? Thank you, Zack and Dan.
That was pretty nice looking too. I didn't know it would look that nice when you shared your screen.
Yeah.
It like pushed us to the side. That was nice. Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you, Dan and Zack, for spending time with us. And I love your ideas for other small businesses in the community to, be creative and do different things. What can the community do to help support you guys right now?
So me and Zack were just talking about this when we before this call. Right now, there's not a lot that we can do. If you're looking for an updated headshot, if you're a real estate agent and you're looking for a video or a virtual walkthrough, if you own an e-commerce store and need some product photography, but really what we're looking for and the easiest thing that someone could do for us right now is make a formal introduction. Maybe not quite a referral, but introduce us to maybe a business owner that or a marketing manager in a brand or a bigger company. We're just looking to meet more people. So when this is all over and everyone's budgets are hopefully back the way they are, that we can help them out in any way, shape, or form. If you've never heard of us before, we're StrixMedia. We offer video production, photography, web design, social media, graphic design, really anything that you would need to fight the battle of the internet. And we'd love to help you guys out if anyone needs anything. And feel free to give us a call for a free consultation. We'd love to brainstorm some ideas for you.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Stay healthy. Thank you for being part of the Buy Local NJ family. And we look forward to seeing you in person soon.
Yeah.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you. Thanks for having us on, Andy. I appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.